شكرا أخونا ديب ثينكر. Good question, Dr. Theophilus. What is the difference between the sign and the miracle? Because as we know that Jesus was going from place to place doing many miracles, and they saw these miracles almost every day, but they asked him for a sign. If the miracles may be related to any prophet and the sign related to Messiah, so why they asked him for a sign, although they did see many miracles he committed? The mic is yours.
There are three different words used in the Greek of the miracles. One is wonders, another is sign, and then I think miracles itself. And frankly, my memory is a little vague on this, but a sign is something that points to something else. In other words, he does something that has significance beyond what you see. So the signs that Jesus, the miracles that Jesus performed, really point to Jesus himself, as if to say, hey, who is this that he can do such things? And I think that's the difference between simply saying he performed a miracle or these are wonders. A wonder is something that's not common, something that can't be done by human beings under normal circumstances. That's a wonder. And of course that's also true of a miracle. It's something which is supernatural, which is above normal human capacity to perform. But signs are generally used, that term, in the Apostle John's writings, and they always say they point toward Jesus. If you see a sign on the road and it says Detroit 15 miles and points in a certain direction, that's a sign. Well, the miracles that Jesus performed, as they're recorded in the Gospel of John, always point to something deeper. They point to Jesus and they ask, who can do this? How can he do this? Who is this person? And so when they demand a sign, they're simply saying, we want you to do something that would prove your person, that you are the Messiah, that you are from God. And the miracles that they, or signs that they requested, as I pointed out, are really dependent upon Moses' words in Deuteronomy, where he says that, some prophet comes along and prophesies something and it doesn't happen. Well, you know he's a false prophet. Kill him. But on the other hand, if he does a miracle, does something miraculous, but then he goes on to tell you, let's go after other gods, that's a false prophet too. And in other words, miracles are deemed authentication. Just like Moses said, how can I get Pharaoh to listen to me? He doesn't know who I am. I'm just a wild man out of the desert. And God gave him the power to do miracles. And he said, go show that to Pharaoh. Well, one of them was to throw down his staff and it became a snake. Pharaoh immediately asked his magicians to duplicate it, and they were able. But they threw down their sticks and they became little snakes. And Moses' snake was bigger and it went around gobbling up the little snakes. In other words, Pharaoh, interpreting that, said, whoever this Moses is, his God, or the power in him, is greater than the power in the magicians. So in that sense, whenever Jesus did something, you have to ask the question, how could he do that? Who is he? That's why they're called signs. That's my understanding of it.